happy to have in the studio the donor of that Law Resource Center, Dr. Olu Asekun. He is an attorney based in the United States of America, Texas. He is a graduate of Ogun State University, now Olabisi Onabanjo University. In 1992, said an alumnus of the Faculty of Law. He laid the foundation of that building, and today the commissioning was done. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Sometimes, as what the Pro-Chancellor said, that you don't judge a book by its cover. When you look at the Law Resource Center, what comes to your mind?
Well, it's a fulfillment of a vow. As I said during the dedication, I was privileged to be appointed to represent this university in 1991 at the Teslim Elias International Moot Court Competition. Prior to that time, the only thing we were exposed to was the law library. So you move from the classroom, you go to the library, and you read. That's it. There was no element of practical teaching. There was no practical demonstration of how court system works. And most of the courses we did at the time, we didn't even do anything about procedure. It was at the law school that we had to do civil procedure, criminal procedure, and all those things. So at the university levels, we were just doing regular academic thing. So when I got into the competition, the lack of exposure was very glaring. Apparently, some other students had, maybe it may not be as grand as this, but they were still exposed. Remember, this was a time that even to have lectures, we were taken to different secondary schools that we were using. So we didn't even have facility. We didn't even have classrooms. So sometimes some courses, the lecturer talked to you under the tree. There was no resource whatsoever. So at this competition, I proposed in my heart that this is something that is missing at OOU. We call it OOU at the time. That this was something that is missing. I didn't tell anybody. It was just a proposal in my heart, and I made a vow that if I became a successful lawyer, I will build a world-class resource center at OOU. And of course, it took a lot of time, but I know that God, who is a faithful God, brought it to my attention in 2020, probably during COVID. You know that at the inception of COVID, people could not work, so everybody had to sit at home. So that was a way that God wanted to teach human beings that He's still in control. So we were home doing nothing. So it was a time of reflection. And it was in the process that I realized that I think I'm in a position to fulfill this vow. And I reached out on my own, of course, first to the president of the Alumni Association, that I have a plan. I have something I wanted to do. So he, on the other hand, reached out to the Vice Chancellor. I reached out to him because I was not resident in Nigeria. I'm still not resident in Nigeria. So he reached out to the Vice Chancellor, and the support, the encouragement that the Vice Chancellor gave me, it was tremendous. So in no time, we set a date for the foundation laying. Of course, the foundation laying was not supposed to be an event, but again, as God will have it, my wife and I came to Nigeria sometimes in 2021, and as soon as the Vice Chancellor heard that I was around, a date was fixed for the foundation laying ceremony, and that was how we laid the foundation. And actually, the plan was to build it at my convenience. I wasn't planning on speedy building or anything. It was supposed to be at my convenience. But again, in December last year, I was in Nigeria as well, and I was talking to the Deputy Vice Chancellor, and in the course of the conversation, it came up that law faculty was going to celebrate 40th anniversary of the faculty of law. And I was like, in my head, oh, that would be a perfect timing for this resource center to be ready. So I got in touch with the contractor who was doing the construction, and I told him, do you think this place can be ready by May? And he said, yes, that will be ready. So we started it. But unfortunately, of course, the contractor was not able to deliver, so I had to change it, and I have my friend here who eventually took over, and to God's glory, we were able to deliver.
All right, some people might really want to know, what's going to be the job, or what's the purpose of the resource center? It looks like, will it be another place where lectures will be given again, or how would you describe the Law Resource Center? What purpose will it serve?
Well, as you already know, it's a resource center. I mean, a lot of people think that it's just about the moot court. No. Moot court is one of those resources in the resource center. There are multiple moot courts in there. There is going to be a library, of course, e-library, electronic with computers and everything. We have offices there. And like I said, this is a world-class standard. So for every courtroom, we have the judges' chambers, we have lawyers' consultation rooms, we have offices, we have courtyard where students can also relax. We also have 120 seat capacity for spectators. Okay, 200 capacity for spectators. I mean, we have a gallery where people can observe court proceedings. Because like I said, it is the practical experience that makes the big difference. It is one thing to study academically. It's a different thing to face practice in real life. That competition in 1991, I didn't win. I lost at the semi-final level. But I can tell you that if I was exposed to this kind of resources, it would have been different.
All right, they say that theory without practice is sterile, and practice without theory is blind. And to balance this up, that's why we have the resource center. What advice would you give to students who will be using this facility?
Well, today, by the special grace of God, we also launched a foundation, that is Olu Asekun Foundation. And part of the plan is that the foundation was going to sponsor competitions among law students across the country. So by either voluntarily or involuntarily, law students are going to be exposed to this training that we are talking about. If you attended the dedication today and listened to my speech, one of the gifts that I have is the gift of advocacy. I have the gift of persuasion. And again, these are things that people can learn. And if there is a competition, people with such gifts will have the ability and the opportunity to develop it.
And so that resource center will afford them the opportunity to put that gift into use. Let me ask you, do you speak Yoruba fluently?
Definitely.
Okay. How long have you...
I speak Yoruba, I speak Ijebu, and of course I speak English.
All right. Nelson Mandela said in his words before he died that if you speak to a man in a language he understands, the message gets to his head. But if you speak to a man in a language he loves, the message gets to his heart. Now, I'm going to leave the microphone right now and allow you to have a chat with Kayode Awojobi, who will speak to you in Yoruba. You like that?
Not a problem.
All right, let's quickly take a break at Kayode Awojobi standing by for the interview in Yoruba. Don't go anywhere.
Kámẹ́yìn sọ́wọ́ òsì káwá fẹ́ rìn títí kárìn délùú sẹ́yìn ẹni tí ò bá ní yí ni wọ́n ní ò ní yí ni. Ẹlẹ́gbọ́n ohun tí mo wí. àní wọ́n ní ká mẹ́yìn sọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún ká mẹ́yìn sọ́wọ́ òsì ká fẹ̀yìn rìn títí ká rìn délùú sẹ́yìn ẹni tí ò bá ní yìn ni kò ní yìn ni. lọ́sàn-án tòní nínú okulu 92.1 FM àgbàlejò ẹni ìyá àgbàlejò ẹni ẹ̀yẹ agbègbè kágbègbè orílẹ̀-èdè kórílẹ̀-èdè tí dàgbàsókè bá ń dé bá ó ní láti jẹ́ pé irú orílẹ̀-èdè bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní àwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n onímọ̀ olóye tó sì nífẹ̀ẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè bẹ́ẹ̀ débi tó lápẹẹrẹ. Fásitì Ọlábísí Ọ̀nàbànjọ jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú irúfẹ́ àwọn agbègbè tàbí irú àwọn àgbékalẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó láwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n onímọ̀ àtolóye tí wọ́n ti tọpasẹ̀ fásitì yìí kọjá tí wọ́n sì wò ó pé fásitì yìí ó la parí nínú ayé àwọn tí wọ́n wá bojú wẹ̀yìn mi pé ilé ẹ̀kọ́ tó mú mi débí èmi náà gbọ́dọ̀ sapá àtagbára mi láti rí wípé ó dáa ju bí mo ṣe fi í sílẹ̀ lọ. ọ̀mọ̀wé Olúṣẹ́gun Àṣekún orúkọ rò wọ́n torí wípé kí ni fásitì Ọlábísí Ọ̀nàbànjọ ti bá a débì kan àwọn náà wá wò pé kí mo wá lè ṣe láti ṣe kún un tó ti wà ńlẹ̀ yìí ni wọ́n fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ta fásitì Ọlábísí Ọ̀nàbànjọ lọ́rẹ̀ kí ni ọ̀rẹ́ ibùdó tí wọ́n ti máa ṣe àmúlò àwọn ohun tó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ìmọ̀ òfin ní orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà. Inú mi dùn ayọ̀ mi kún láti kí yín káàbọ̀ sínú okulu 92.1 FM lọ́sàn-án tòní. Ẹ káàsán sà, ẹ bá mi káwọn ará ilé.
Ẹ káàsán olóòtú, ẹ káàsán ará ilé.
Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ohun ọ̀mọ̀wé Olúṣẹ́gun Àṣekún òun ni ẹ ti gbọ́ òun. Nígbà tí akẹgbẹ́ mi Erin Jackson bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé ṣé ẹ lè sọ Yorùbá wọn ni bó ṣe Jẹ̀bú lẹ́fẹ́ bó ṣe Yorùbá náà ni a sọ a sì dúpẹ́ wípé wọ́n sọ lóòótọ́ ó túmọ̀ sí wípé wọn ò gbàgbé ilé. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run wípé ẹ lálàá ẹ níran wípé mo fẹ́ ṣe báyìí mo fẹ́ ṣe tọ̀hún Ọlọ́run bá sì ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó fò yín ṣe a sì máa worúfẹ́ ọjọ́ báyìí sẹ́yìn wípé ọjọ́ báyìí máa ṣe nǹkan báyìí máa ṣe nǹkan báyìí ọ̀tọ̀ ní kéèyàn ní èrò ọ̀tọ̀ ní kéèyàn lè gbé èrò ọ̀hún kalẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ wá ní kí èrò ọ̀hún kó ṣojú ẹni. Adúpẹ́ wípé èrò tiyín tẹ́ èrò tẹ́ ẹ gbé kalẹ̀ àṣeyọrí ẹ̀ ó ṣojú yín lónìí kí ló farúfẹ́ oore tẹ́ ẹ ṣe fún fásitì Ọlábísí Ọ̀nàbànjọ yìí.
ẹ ṣe olóòtú wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá mọnú rò àmọ̀pẹ́ dá iléèwé OOU ó gbìyànjú sínú ayé wa ṣùgbọ́n lákòókò táwa wà ń bí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ìmọ̀ àbí nǹkan tó yẹ kí a fi kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ni a ò ní ní ìgbà tí àwa wà ń bí ó dẹ̀ yọ ọ́ lẹ̀ fún wa nítorí mo lọ ṣe aṣojú ilé ẹ̀kọ́ yìí ní ìdíje kan ní ìlú Èkó níbi ìdíje yìí ó hàn gbangba ń pé àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ ká fi kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ a ò ní ó yọ ọ́ lẹ̀ nígbà náà so ìyẹn ló wá mú mi pinnu lọ́kàn ara mi pé tí Ọlọ́run bá ṣe dáadáa fún mi o màá gbìyànjú láti kọ́ ibi tí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ òfin tó ń bọ̀ lọ́jọ́ iwájú tí àwọn ò ní opportunity láti jẹ irú ìyà táwa jẹ nídìí pé à ń kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ yìí.
Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run wípé aláàyè ń tẹ lánìgbà náà ó wá sí ìmúṣẹ ilé ọjọ́ tòní tí mo sì nígbàgbọ́ wípé inú gbogbo ẹni tó wà níbi ètò náà lọ́jọ́ tòní ni ó máa dùn torí ọ̀pọ̀ ọgbà tèmi náà bá kọjá ń bẹ̀ wọ́n kàn máa wò pé Ọlọ́run ọba èèyàn kan náà wọ́n sì ní ń kọrú eléyìí. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run lẹ́yìn tẹ́ wá ti gbé irúfẹ́ ibùdó yẹn ti gbé kalẹ̀ fún àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìmọ̀ òfin kí ni ìrètí yín lórí àmúlò rẹ̀ láàrin ọdún 10 sí 15 sásìkò yìí.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run ṣíṣí ta ṣe lénìí kì í ṣe pé a ṣe a ní bojú wẹ̀yìn ṣíṣí ta ṣe lénìí a tún fi oríṣiríṣi àwọn nǹkan míì lélẹ̀ lára ẹ̀ ni ń pé ilé ẹ̀kọ́ yìí wọ́n á máa ṣe ìdíje láàrin àwọn ìfigagbága láàrin àwọn tó ń kọ́ ìmọ̀ òfin ní gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kọ́ tí wọ́n ti ń kọ́ òfin ní ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. So ìyẹn pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí a máa ṣe and lágbára ọlọ́run náà dẹ̀rẹ́ bí a ṣe máa mójútó bẹ̀ tí ò ní bàjẹ́ gbogbo nǹkan kan yọnu ni o nǹkan kan nídìí kí a túnṣe ni o nǹkan kan tí ó tó mú pé ká náwó síbẹ̀ lágbára ọlọ́run a fẹ́ ju ọwọ́ ẹ̀ lẹ̀ so even though Yorùbá sọ pé tá bá fún ni ní tá bá fàgbò fún eégún ṣe là á jókòó ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ṣe ni mo fẹ́ di okùn eléyìí mú láti lè rí ìdájú pé ibẹ̀ yẹn gbogbo nǹkan tí a gbèrò ó ṣeé ṣe lágbára ọlọ́run.
ẹ ṣeun ọ̀mọ̀wé Àṣekún mo tún ní kí n béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín láwùjọ wa lásìkò yìí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí orí ṣẹ́gi ọlà fún láwùjọ wa púpọ̀ nínú wọn kọ́ ni wọ́n ń ṣerúfẹ́ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ ṣe yìí tá a bá sì ní ká wò ó láwùjọ wa láàárín àwọn tẹ́ ẹ jọ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ jáde lọ́dún 1992 kì í ṣẹ̀yìn nìkan ni orí ṣẹ́gi ọlà fún ní àárín wọn ní báyìí kí làmọ̀ràn yín fáwọn tó rí ṣẹ́gi ọlà fún láti ṣerú nǹkan báyìí pàápàá jùlọ lẹ́ka ètò ẹ̀kọ́ torí ìjọba sọ láìpẹ́ pé ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ìjọba nìkan ò lè dá gbé mọ́ káwọn èèyàn lónà kí wọ́n bá wọn dá sí.
well nǹkan tí màá sọ ni pé ìgbà tí mò ń bá adarí ilé ìwé yìí vice chancellor sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá wọ́n fi tó mi létí pé eléyìí tí a ṣe yìí ó ti jẹ́ encouragement àti challenge fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó ti kàwé ní ilé ìwé yìí in fact ìròyìn tó ń kàn mí létí ni pé lẹ́yìn tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ilé ó ti tó bí ẹni mẹ́rin tó ti pinnu pé àwọn máa ṣe nǹkan kan fún ilé ìwé yìí lára wọn ni Chief Chris Okunowo ó ti ṣe wọ́n dẹ̀ tún sọ létí mi náà ń pé ẹlòmíì náà kò tiẹ̀ ń ṣe faculty of law ẹlòmíì náà ti decide láti kọ́ nǹkan ìmíì sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ yìí náà so challenge ni mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé is a form of encouragement fún àwọn tó kù náà ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan kan ní máa sọ ṣe rí oore ọ̀fẹ́ ó yàtọ̀ sí no bóyá màá sọ lóyìnbó torí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ get nǹkan tí mò ń try láti sọ affordability ó yàtọ̀ sí grace.
mo lè ṣe é ó yàtọ̀ sí kíyàn lórí ọ̀fẹ́ àti ṣe.
because kì í ṣe gbogbo èèyàn tó ní owó tó lè ṣe ló ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti ṣe oore ọ̀fẹ́ yẹn ọlọ́run ló ń fún yàn nìyẹn ọlọ́run ló ń fún yàn nìyẹn so àdúrà oore ọ̀fẹ́ ni máa gbà fún àwọn tó tún tí ọlọ́run fún lágbára ọlọ́run á fún wọn ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti lè ṣe nǹkan tó dáa fún ilé ẹ̀kọ́ yìí.
ẹ ṣeun ọ̀mọ̀wé Olúṣẹ́gun Àṣekún ìbéèrè eléyìí tí wọ́n fi káàdì ohun gbogbo ńlẹ̀ torí pé wíníwíní ojú aago ọjọ́ tí ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti ń lọ. orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tá a wà yìí ìṣèjọba tuntun bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ 29 oṣù karùn-ún ọdún tá a wà yìí tó sì jẹ́ pé oríṣiríṣi ìgbésẹ̀ wọn ní ìjọba tuntun ọ̀hún ni wọ́n ti ń gbé láti ìgbà náà títí dòní olónìí kí lẹ lè sọ nípa ìṣèjọba tó wà lóde yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí amòfin.
well hope wà a ní hope because àwa ọlọ́run fún wa ní ìfẹ́ ìlú yìí ilé làbọ̀ sinmi oko kò sí bí àjò ṣe lè dùn kó dàbí ilé ńgbà míì pàápàá àwa tí ọlọ́run tún fún ní àwọ̀ dúdú yìí challenge oríṣiríṣi ni ó ń dojúkọ wá ní ìlú òyìnbó àwa tọ́lọ́run tí ọlọ́run fi sí position ọpẹ́ tàbá sì tún fèsì irú àwọn challenge yẹn ẹ lè imagine tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí àwọn tó ń struggle tí wọ́n máa so ilé làbọ̀ sinmi oko hope wa ní pé ọlọ́run á ran ìjọba yìí lọ́wọ́ láti ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó promise so that àwọn tí ó wà ń lo òyìnbó náà wọ́n á lè padà sílé wọ́n á lè wá contribute quota wọn sí ìtẹ̀síwájú orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún wọn ṣe lágbára ọlọ́run.
ẹ ṣeun ọ̀mọ̀wé Olúṣẹ́gun Àṣekún tí a pè yín tẹ́ sì jẹ́ wa ní o pẹ̀lú ìgbàgbọ́ wípé gbogbo àlá yín àti ìran míì tẹ́nu fún fásitì Ọlábísí Ọ̀nàbànjọ àti tẹ́nu fún orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀ Ọlọ́run bá aláwòrábí yóò jẹ́ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ kò jẹ́ bó ti jẹ́ kò jẹ́ bó ti lóhun jẹ́ ní ọ̀sán tòní àmọ́ kí a tó máa lọ a fẹ́ kí ẹ fòǹtẹ̀ lu ìkànnì gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ OOU 92.1 FM à ń bọ̀ náà.
OOU 2.1 FM.